Hello, everybody. This is Daz Greenwood, and I'm here at the kickoff of the Open Media Legal Hack at San Francisco Blockchain Week at a terrific event that Legal.io and Tony are putting on that we're part of. It was led by Tony. And speaking of legal hackers, Jameson, you guys want to introduce yourselves?
Sure, yeah. My name is Jameson Dempsey. I'm one of the global directors of Legal Hackers. Legal Hackers is the largest grassroots legal innovation movement. And I'm also here in the Bay Area. I started a residential fellowship in Codex, where I'll be focusing on the global legal innovation movement. Super thrilled about the legal hack and everything you've been doing now.
Here. And what we're doing actually with the distributed nature is taking something that Jameson, Tony, and I and the whole crew came up with in March with the Computational Law and Blockchain Festival, a distributed event, right, and trying to carry it forward with this event. And Tony, you are one of the co-chairs of San Francisco Legal Hackers, and thank you very much for kind of hosting this launch of this distributed event series.
Not at all. I'm so happy that we're taking this to version 1.5 now of this global. Right. I mean, it's pretty unique. We, as an international network of chapters, like from a grassroots bottoms-up basis, being able to coordinate on an international basis is really what makes this special. So we're delighted to be able to be here for the kickoff, pass off the baton to Kansas City, to Brazil, to Boston, and everywhere else all around the world that's taking part, Houston. And so, yeah, very, very happy that October is going to be a legal hack month, and that we'll be culminating at MIT Media Lab to later in this month. But yeah, Daza, thank you so much for being here with us. None of this would be happening without you. You know that from the bottom of our hearts.
And I can literally say it would be happening without you too, and everybody on the hangout. So thank you guys. I know you got to get into event prep because you have 100 people coming over for this event in San Francisco Blockchain Week. But I'm glad that you're able to host us. And then at the end of this event, I'll mention later, we're going to start to do an interesting design workshop with your colleague Brett McCarthy, using mechanism design method that she has to start to elicit some of the issues and topics, challenges, opportunities that we can hack at our various venues going forward. So we'll make the most of San Francisco while we're here.
Fantastic.
Sounds good.
See you guys later.
Thanks, guys.
Bye.
Okay, time to get to work. I'm going to put on my hacker hat. All right, everybody. Let's do this thing. Oh, Jameson, could you hit the door on the way out? Thanks. All right. What the purpose of this launch, in part, is to just hear a little bit from some of the organizers across the world. I know it's very late for some of you, and so I appreciate your being able to come on. We weren't able to get everybody, but I think that who we have will be a really good flavor. And so, who wants to go first? Anybody? Just whoever wants to go first, just come on off mute and introduce yourselves. And okay, looks like we have Brian. So Brian Wilson, chair of Kansas City Legal Hackers. Tell us a little bit about when is your event happening and what do you have planned?
Yes, so we're hosting an event over October 27th and 28th here in Kansas City. We have divided out the event into 3 chunks. We have the learn track, the hack track, and the discuss track, and kind of sandwiched between there, we're also going to have something of a festival track, which I'll get to a little bit later. But on the 27th, we will be at FlexPod Crossroads, a co-working space in this really cool old historic building in the Kansas City Arts District. We're going to be going over some management 101 sort of issues. So whether that's, managing your digital rights, managing your IP, managing your relationships with the people that you're working with. So whether it's concert venues, record labels, what have you. Then also going on that same day, we're doing our hack track where we're going to try and put together this cool sort of creative work where we'll incorporate the work of some musicians and kind of, I think what we're looking at doing is modernizing kind of the first version of the film that was shot in one take, kind of using like a 50-second sort of film camera. And we're going to use this really cool integrated form of Hangouts plus lavalier plus pre-recorded video and then some other neat tricks that I'll let kind of percolate once as they will. And then we actually have a band who is going to be with us directly. They're a group called Mount Terror. They're an indie band out of Oklahoma that I've been friends with for quite a while. And they will be providing a lot of the entertainment and staying with us over the course of the weekend to try and directly learn about this stuff and really engross themselves in it and be able to take stuff away. And then on the 28th, we'll be at the Kansas City Artists Coalition, where we will kind of have a discussion on how the event went, what can come out of the event, and then we will also be talking about the Music Modernization Act and what that could do to musicians and the way that they're dealing with some of these things. And then we'll kind of wrap up and call it an event.
Okay, and so you reference, that sounds amazing, frankly. I think you've got more going on than any other node around the world, although we haven't heard from Brazil and everybody yet, so let's find out. But one thing I just wanted to mention, or put a little bit of visual on, you mentioned the kind of lavalier and the kind of media hack. So something that Brian and I kind of dreamed up for organizers that fill out your slides in time is that we'll send you this little kind of kit so you can plug one end into an iPhone or a Android. It has room for headphones so that you can monitor what's going on, and then most importantly, a little lavalier with a clip so that we can get good audio and really hear people, hear and be heard. So we're trying to slowly make progress on making the most of this, Hangout capability, and see if we can't use it like a kind of distributed TV studio for our events. All right. So speaking of Brazil, Mila, Juliana, can you introduce yourselves and your group and let people know a little preview of what's cooking in São Paulo?
Yeah, of course. Ju, I'm going to start off and then you kick in whenever you want. So my name is Camila. I'm gladly co-organizing the São Paulo Legal Hacker chapter, but also the Open Media Legal Hack in São Paulo. And we are doing this great hack day at this co-working space called Buck that has got space for the hacking and the learning and the music tracks of our program. So it's going to be really, really, really fun. I just wanted to say, I guess I did the slide spreadsheet. So I'm looking forward to see how you're going to send that little cutest thing over to Brazil, so we can have a little fun. We're still deciding upon the band that's going to play. But besides that, the good thing, hey, we have
Hi, guys.
Hey.
Yay. Sorry to
great
interrupt.
To see you.
So good to see
No
you.
worries. No worries. So I was just going over how Brazil is going to look like. So, and the funny part is that we have a lot of interesting people signing in. So many different backgrounds. Like we have lawyers, but we have cool programmers, and we also have musicians who are programmers and are studying law. Like the answers we have been having to our Google spreadsheets are amazing. So I'll just let you jump in and say in a few words. Nice to see you all.
Awesome. And where is that what is that I see in the background? That doesn't look like Brazil. Or have you
Yeah, I'm actually at the subway right now, so
yeah, what do we see in your background, Mila?
Yeah, so this is the funny part, because although I'm organizing São Paulo Legal Hacker chapter, I just wanted to make sure you can all see a little bit of Russia.
Amazing.
Where I'm at for just a week. This is the craziest city ever. It's so amazing. Guys from Moscow, they need to have it in here also for the next year, because I'm pretty sure great things can come out of this country.
Awesome. Yeah. Well, I understand there's some perfectly good hackers in the Kremlin and back in Russia. Maybe you could get some of them interested in hacking the law with us, in this constructive way. So I'm glad that you're there. Can you come and join me on this side? Okay. So we'll have a report out soon. We've been joined in the room now by another creative person, in Tony Lai's Milou. But let's move forward now to New York. So I see we've got Brooklyn Law representing.
You got it.
And I see Emmerich as well. Emmerich, if you want to come off mute, I want to ask some questions about the Bushwick generator venue. But just to kind of get us into a New York state of mind, Sydney, maybe could you introduce yourself and your group and give us a little preview of what's going to be happening in the Big Apple?
Yeah, you got it. So, hi guys, my name's Sydney Abouali. I'm coming from Brooklyn, New York, and I'm one of the co-organizers of the New York Node, along with Daza and Mark Potkwitz, who couldn't be here today. But so we're hosting our hack on October 20th at the Bushwick Generator. It's going to be really exciting. The Bushwick Generator, which Emmerich will tell you guys a little more about, it's a newly founded incubator and co-working space in Brooklyn. So along with all of the other nodes, our purpose is to be exploring and developing creative solutions for the ownership, distribution, protection, and exchange of property rights for musicians and creative content users and creators. So at the New York node, I think we kind of have more of we definitely have a collaborative approach. We've been actively recruiting and promoting people to harness the forces from the dev and programming worlds, attorneys and students in the tech and entertainment spaces, artists and creatives, music and media and industry professionals alike, all over NYC. So our vision really is that each team kind of represents participants from all of these industries. So we can facilitate kind of a cross-industry engagement and development and communication going on here. Yeah. So, yeah, it's going to be fantastic. We have a comedy troupe, as Daza knows, kind of ending out the night. We have some speakers coming along too, maybe some kind of heavy hitters from the music industry too are going to join us. So it's going to be really exciting. We can't wait to share everything that's going on from our end with you guys. And, same goes along for the other ends too.
Hear, hear. Thanks. And we are in such an amazing space in New York as well that you mentioned the Bushwick Generator.
Yeah.
And I see Emmerich is on the line, the sort of purveyor of the space. And Emmerich, could you introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about this remarkable space and how we're going to use it?
Yeah, sure. Sounds good. I'm at home now, so I'm just just moved into this apartment here. I got 2 plants. And not much else.
Perfect.
But so yeah, I mean the Bushwick Generator is a tech innovation creative hub under development. So I don't know, it would be akin to what's going on in Berlin. There's a couple cool creative hubs out there. Certainly Sin SF. I'm sure there's some great spaces. This is a space that we hope can be owned and really run by the community as much as possible. So we've come up with some mechanisms that kind of could make that happen, but still will deal with the traditional economics as in having rent be paid. So this is 100,000 square foot property. It's actually right next to Consensus, which, by the way, Daza, Open Law said they want to be involved. So I assume you're talking to them. But so anyways, yeah, the idea for the tech hub is just that it's a creative space, an innovation hub, and we want to enable. We have tons of local artists, and basically what we do there is really like a bartering. So if the artist needs something, if they need space to use for an event, we basically have a bounty board. We posted a wiki. It's wiki.thebushwickgenerator.com, and we have a bounty board on there. And the artists fulfill bounties. So if we need a website or logo design or these kind of things, we just posted this, we just released this, so they're starting to fulfill these, and we give them what's effectively space time. So we give them, the ability to use space for something that they desire. So we think that that's a way to this granular nature is a way to make the space more robust. So that's the idea, is that people come to the Bushwick Generator at all hours or most of the hours of the day and have a great experience and innovate and create.
Hear, hear. Yeah, and what a remarkable space it is too. I'm looking forward to using it. You've got the 2 floors, so Sydney and Mark and Jonathan Ask and others have been putting together this little kind of lineup of musicians and the comedy troupe and everything on the 1st floor.
Awesome.
We're hacking away on the 2nd floor.
Great. Yeah. And if anybody comes to New York, love to have you. If you guys are a part of a space in a different place, please let me know. and when I'm in your city, you know, I'd love to check it out. So
Here, here. Thank you.
You can always have everybody on the call can certainly come work there if they're in New York, and we'll see you at the hackathon.
Perfect. Thank you, Ember.
That's great.
Thank you for the space. And
Guys, can you hear me?
Is
Can you
that
guys hear me?
Juliana?
Yeah, I was at the subway, so I couldn't speak when you guys called me. But now I'm not anymore. So can you guys hear me fine, or is it
Yes,
a bit?
absolutely. And did you want to say something?
Yeah, I was just like complimenting what Camilla said about the event. Well, we are planning it to be at the 27th. We decided it was better to be like a one-day thing instead of a 3 days or more days, because we had like a partnership with a place around here that offered us to do it for free, so it was awesome. And now we're pretty much working on like letting people know what we're doing and calling like the most diverse group as possible, and that's basically it. We did a video as well. I don't know if you guys checked it out, but we are working pretty hard on like art and videos and marketing in general, like so people go and we have as many people as possible.
Okay. Well, thank you. And by the way, that's pretty. I think that doing these things in one day has benefits. So we ended up doing that in MIT as well. We were going to make it 2 or 3 days, and at the end of the day, we did. We're doing it one day on Sunday, the 28th, and then also that's how it's going down in New York as well. We looked at different configurations, and there's pros and cons, but there's we can pack a lot in one day, especially when we're all doing it together and adding, a thread to a fabric. So speaking of that, another thread to the fabric here as part of the launch is using a method that Tony Lai suggested we look at for this distributed event, and it's mechanism design. And the person behind this method is actually with me right now, Beth McCarthy, and she's going to be leading, or I guess we'll co-facilitate, but Beth will lead a workshop at the end of this event here in San Francisco tonight, where we do a mechanism design kind of deep dive into the open media kind of legal issues and opportunities, and hopefully generate and surface some good stuff that we can then share with all as an input for everything that we're doing through the rest of the month. So with that, I just want to first of all thank you for hacking along with us, Beth. And could you tell us a little bit about what this workshop's going to be?
Yeah. So every Tuesday, I lead a mechanism design research group here. So at Starfish and San Francisco. So basically, what we do is go through either certain models that people are wanting to hack on that they're like, should I have a token? Would this thing actually work? What we know that this could be a good reputation mechanism, but how do we actually see where the points of incentive are, how it's actually good for users, or in the case of today, looking at the different points in the music industry that I guess since we're focusing on the music one in San Francisco, but yeah, since the different points in the music industry where people have different incentives and where values and needs and hopefully solutions flow through that system. So yeah, and then I guess on Tuesday, then we'll continue that discussion. So if anyone wants to call into that or is interested, I would love to talk more. And also I'm going to be in New York, so I'll meet some of you hopefully. So yeah.
At the Bushwick Generator.
Yeah.
Yeah. And while in New York, Beth is going to join a team with Emmerich and do a little bit of a deeper dive into how we can use these amazing spaces like the Starfish Network here and Bushwick Generator and others around the world, because one business model and one approach to ownership and control of art could be connected in space and time to where the artists are. And like the collaborative boards and the bounty systems that Emmerich was mentioning, and other potential, kind of creative connection points by leveraging and supporting and reflecting the space. So there'll be a neat kind of sub-thread on that. That we hope to get started in Bushwick in earnest with Emmerich and Beth, and then perhaps do a follow-on event that's really about the architecture of the space, not just physical, but business, legal, and technical as well. So with that, I'm reminded here to also mention we've created a page called, wait, where did it go? Brian, what was the page that we created again?
We got the domain for openmedia.space, right, so that we can use that as the digital gallery from which, you know, all of the cool things that come out of this event can be can live at for everyone to see. So
yeah, for posterity. That's right. Thanks. I've forgotten the domain we had. So it's openmedia.space, and as we get the outputs of the different venues, including, I know there's going to be great stuff happening in Dallas and Houston and other places as well. We'll be sharing those through a coordinated Google slide deck, but also through, you know, other channels, and try to curate them at this URL, openmedia.space, so that we can look across each other's work in a more organized way, and then, you know, have a place for where others might be able to discover it and add to it over time, we hope. So that's one of the things we're seeking to improve a little bit, that following on what Jameson Dempsey and Tony Lai were saying, this is version 1.5 of a legal hacker's approach to distributed events, and something that we could maybe do better on is harvesting the great stuff from all the different venues in a way that people can discover it and use it and extend it as well. So thanks for that reminder, Brian. And so anybody out there in internet land that wants to hack along with us, you can get to all of these venues and so much more at legalhackathon.org. So come on out, hack the law with us, and let's see if we can't do something transformative at this fulcrum point now for artists and musicians in this new digital market. So until then, see you online.